Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. This is a look at our market leading stocks via our proprietary scans for the coming session. This is going to be for Wednesday, October 16th, 2013. Got a downside day going here, and the scans for the most part are on board with showing that we're going to continue to the downside tomorrow. Got a fair amount of CPS signals here in the NASDAQ patch. A couple of things are popping up here with some deviations. We've got a volume deviation here in First Solar, and that's well below the day's VWAP. That's selling off aggressively here into the close. Another volume deviation here in Wynn Resorts. That's got a camouflage sell signal. So those are definitely a couple names that should be on the on your watch list for tomorrow. Moving on to the financials, the signals are a little fewer and farther between here. We do have a volume bump in Citigroup. That one's really been weak all day. 0.5% below the day's VWAP and 1.5% below the day's open. So real negative session going there. That's going to be on the list for tomorrow for downside consideration. Energy names are fairly muted here. We've got one sell signal in Valero. We do have a volume bump in RIG. The generals is where we're starting to see some more of that decisive bias to the downside. Got about 1 out of 2 stocks with a downward bias indicated for tomorrow. We've got a differential sell signal in Best Buy. Best Buy did have a pretty reasonably strong day, but it's starting to fade now. Pretty good volume there too. VMware is more than 2.5% below the day's open with the downside CPS condition and fairly decent volume. Also pretty good weakness in Coca-Cola. Moving on to the housing names, these are all fairly weak here. DHI is more than 2.5% below the day's open with the downside CPS condition. Transports, FedEx having a big day after earnings. That one's more than 3% above the day's open, so that could be on the long consideration list for tomorrow. Commodity names, a little bit better to buy. Starting to see a bit of a bid develop here in gold. It's actually a pretty good reversal. It's down about 20 handles before the market opened today. They've just kind of been walking that back up very gently as they're just kind of picking up a little bit of a bidding interest there, as the rest of the asset classes for the most part are lower. Even the bonds are a little bit lower on the day today. Good volume in U.S. Steel. That one's not a precious metal stock, and that one's got a differential sell signal, so keep an eye on that to the downside tomorrow. Newmont's got an upside CPS condition, and so does ABX. Alright folks, as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.